What's going on, Who That Nation? It is yours truly, TJ Jones, the host of the State of the Saints podcast. And as I see Jonathan Taylor running to the end zone in overtime to crush the Atlanta Falcon fans' hopes and dreams. Woo! Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for checking out the State of the Saints podcast where we talk New Orleans Saints. But my goodness, Jonathan Taylor just ran an 8-yard touchdown right up the gap, crushing the Atlanta Falcons in overtime, 31-25. Better luck next time. But thank y'all so much. I really do appreciate it. We're here to talk about the Saints Week 10 matchup versus the Carolina Panthers in Charlotte. And I just ask that you hit the like button if you enjoyed the State of the Saints podcast and all of its content. My goodness, man, I was watching this game. It was getting exciting. I ain't going to lie to you, man. I thought Atlanta was going to be able to pull it off. And, man, lo and behold, in true Atlanta Falcon form, cannot close the deal. But I do want to let you know that this show is brought to you by MyBookie. You can sign up today. Use the MyBookie app to place your bets. Saints are a 3.5-point underdog against the Carolina Panthers on today. So if you feel like the Saints will cover, you can place your bets at MyBookie. If you feel like the Saints won't, you can also do that, okay? Use the promo code Saints. You can take a part in the buy-in option up to $500, okay? Meaning if you bet up to $500, there's a chance that you can get your money back, right? No harm, no foul. So download the MyBookie app and place your bets today. Just use the promo code Saints. But let's go ahead and get into it, man. Saints versus the Carolina Panthers. Saints Week 10. This will be the second start for rookie Tyler Shough. Tyler Shough had a I don't know what to call it last week, man. I mean, the Saints weren't on the field very long, so it's kind of hard for me to determine like what type of day he had. I mean, I guess, he made some throws. There were some things that I'm pretty sure that he's going to have to work on. But I think that today, you have another game under your belt. Maybe we can see something differently from Tyler Shough. But the New Orleans Saints wide receiver core will look different. Of course, we know Rashid Shaheed was traded to the Seattle Seahawks earlier in the week. Trevor Penning on the move to the Chargers. So that means that Dylan Radins is going to be the starting left guard going forward. And, of course, it's going to be a wide receiver by committee consisting of guys like Brandon Cooks, Devon Vele, and Mason Tipton to pick up the slack that Rashid Shaheed left behind. This is going to be a tough game for the Saints. I know people, look at the Carolina Panthers and they probably just feel like, maybe they aren't that good. But Carolina has really been showing flashes over the last couple of weeks, and they had a very impressive victory over the Green Bay Packers, one of the class teams of the NFC last week. So they're coming into Charlotte excited. It's a home game. They haven't lost, I don't think, in Charlotte. Well, they won 4 out of the last 5, I think, in Charlotte. So it's going to be a tough game for the New Orleans Saints and to go into Charlotte and try to get the victory. But I will say this, I don't look at the Carolina Panthers as a team that the Saints can't beat, especially if you look at the fact that this is a divisional matchup. Guys understand one another. And although, you got some new faces like Teteroa McMillan and Rico Dowdle, I don't feel like it's the New Orleans Saints can't go up in there and try to at least neutralize some of the things that Carolina do best. Number one, defensively, I'll start with the Saints defense. They're going to have to stop Rico Dowdle. Like, you got to put the ball into the hands of Bryce Young and allow him to throw the ball. I will trust that more than them running the ball with Rico Dowdle all over the place, causing the New Orleans Saints a lot of hardship defensively, which would cause the New Orleans Saints to respect the running game, which would make them, susceptible to the play action. So you have to make sure that you are neutralizing Rico Dowdle. Also, you got to be able to get off the field on third down. Last week, the New Orleans Saints could not get off the field on third down. The Rams were able to do whatever the heck they wanted to do to the Saints. And, you got to make sure that you're getting off the field, man. You got to make sure that you're taking advantage of the opportunities when they present themselves. You got to get pressure on Bryce Young. You got to make sure that you keep things very uncomfortable for him in order for him to possibly make a mistake. If the New Orleans Saints can do that, then they can find themselves being there in the end. Now, as far as the New Orleans Saints offense, the offense has got to move the football, man. They have got to convert on third downs. They have got to be able to run the football. The New Orleans Saints running game has been non-existent. And these wide receivers, whoever they may be, are going to have to step up in this game. They're going to have to step up, because if they don't, then Carolina is going to run them out of the building. There's an opportunity for the middle of the field to be exploited, and the New Orleans Saints have to be able to exploit that. Rather you use Devon Vele, using him in a slot, Juwan Johnson throwing the ball to him, or Foster Moreau or Taysom Hill, there is an opportunity for the New Orleans Saints to be able to take advantage of the middle of the field, because Carolina is not very good when it comes to covering the middle. So if the New Orleans Saints can get the ball out, get into the hands of Juwan Johnson, get into the hands of Taysom, or like I said, using Devon Vele in the slot, I think that will be beneficial to the black and gold. But at the end of the day, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to pick the New Orleans Saints to win this football game. It's going to be close. I think that the defense will show a little bit more fight than they did last week. I'm going to go with the Saints in an upset, believe it or not, against the Carolina Panthers on today. Also, got some tragic news for some of you old schoolers out there. Former NFL Commissioner Paul Tagliabue passed away on today at the age of 84 years old. And that was my commissioner growing up as a kid. You know, a mild-mannered man. You know, I just remember those big old glasses, you know, and him, always going to the podium, you know, saying, announcing some of the draft picks. But Paul Tagliabue, man, definitely one of the guys who was a catalyst of bringing the NFL to where it is right now, passing the baton to Roger Goodell. He passed away once again at the age of 84 years old. Rest in peace to the legend, Paul Tagliabue. But let me go ahead and read some of your comments as I try to turn to the game. See, I know the game is about to start in just a second, but I'm going to go ahead and read some of your comments. In the meantime, let me go ahead and turn to this game, because I have not done so. I was too busy watching this game where the Falcons out there had opportunity, man. I mean, look, the Falcons, man, they sacked Daniel Jones 7 times, picked them off. Jesse Bates just, down the stretch could not get it done, man. Could not get it done. All right, says, nah, TJ, I knew Atlanta was about to blow that. Jonathan Taylor is an animal. Good Lord. Yeah, man, that 80-plus yard touchdown was insane, man. Went absolutely insane. Says, hey, chat, I don't watch the Saints games anymore. When I do look at the games, I just check and see what our rookies are doing, TJ. Yeah, I mean, look, a lot of people is kind of like checked out, especially like when you look at some of the things that have been going on with the team. Man, I'm going to be honest with you. I was just absolutely sick to my stomach watching Dennis Lauscher, who ironically looks like Peter Griffin. Y'all ever notice y'all ever notice Dennis Lauscher looked like a real life Peter Griffin? But anyway, just him just being so delusional, man. And you had Fletcher Mackel asking him a question about what the message would be to the Saints fans because of things not looking as ideal as some people would think. And he up there trying to talk about the renovations to the Smoothie King Center and the Superdome. Like, who cares about that at the end of the day? People just care about winning. But that's just what this organization is, man. They just live in their own little land of delusion. Nobody really cares about anything. As long as, the money keep on running in and, people just keep on showing up, they ain't trying to do nothing. It's the buddy club over there. But I'll tell you this, man, people getting tired of watching a stale product. So they're going to have to turn this thing around, and they're going to end up losing the fan base. And I'm not saying people are not going to stop watching them or whatever. They're just going to be watching them at home. And you're going to and those Superdome games going to sound more like the visiting team game, because ain't nobody going to be wasting their time, wasting a Sunday afternoon watching New Orleans Saints embarrass the city by going out there putting together a piss poor product that nobody ain't checking out. TJ, we're about to get spanked, ain't it? Kellen Moore needs to be fired. Look, I don't know if they're going to get spanked tonight. I think that this might be a better game for them. I hope. I'm picking them to win which I haven't done in quite some time and probably won't be doing anytime soon. But, I think that they have a chance, man. I think they got a chance to win this football game. Watching the Saints game is depressing. Just get Kellen Moore out of there. Kellen Moore not going anywhere because they're not looking at the state of the team as his fault. They look at the fact that the bad decisions that have led to this point, and the fact that New Orleans Saints basically have to play let's make a deal in order for a team to be formidable at all. I guess they're looking at it that way. He not going anywhere, man. Who would you pick if the draft was right now, TJ? After what I seen yesterday, ooh, boy, it's a toss-up between Dante Moore and my boy Fernando Mendoza, man. Did y'all see that pass, man? I mean, first off, that was a better catch than pass. All right, everybody like to give the quarterback credit, but man, for him to be able to put that ball into the back of the end zone and throw it up the way that he did, that there was a trust level there. He believed that his wide receiver was going to be able to go up there and make that catch. But man, that was clutch right there. That was clutch right there, man. But Dante Moore, man, he's a gamer, and I just look at guys like late in the fourth quarter. Team needs a spark. You're down by a touchdown, maybe need to get into field goal range. Who is going to go out there? Who's going to ball the hell out? And, Fernando Mendoza to me and Dante Moore, man, those two guys are gamers right there. Now, to me, when it comes to Dante Moore, I think Dante Moore can give you a little bit more flash and pizzazz and extend some plays, make some things more exciting. Fernando Mendoza, man, you got to be able to put some wide receivers around this man in order for him to be able to eat a better tight end. Like he's a guy that I feel like will be pro ready for you. Like sometimes, people like fall in love with the stats and, he didn't give you 3 and 4 touchdowns. But I'm looking at in crucial situations, clutch situations, is he driving his team down the field? Is he making the right decisions? And he was making the right decision, and so is Dante Moore. So to me, those are two guys that I'm looking at that I would say, man, that would be the first pick. Like Tyler Shough has to play otherworldly over the next 8 weeks for me to feel like the New Orleans Saints shouldn't go after a quarterback. I'm serious, man. He gonna have to play like today. He gonna have to be putting up like 2 and 3 touchdowns today. Oh my God, TJ, I hope you didn't spend money on a bet. You lost your money. Nah, man. Look, I mean betting on those Saints. Look, I just say like I just feel like they have a chance to win this game. And I'll pick them. TJ, do you think the organization will draft a quarterback? This organization, probably not, because they keen on relationships and how people may feel and not hurting people's feelings. So probably not. But if it was me, I would pick a quarterback. I mean, this team need a spark, man. And I know people say, man, this team isn't a quarterback away from a winning anything. But man, a quarterback is a start, man. The quarterback is the most important position on the field. I'll stay with you all for a few minutes as we see the return by the Carolina Panthers. It gets past the 30-yard line. So they get the ball first, and out will come the offense of the Carolina Panthers led by Bryce Young. Bryce Young had a very pedestrian week last week, but it was extremely windy in Green Bay. And you can have a pedestrian week when you have a really good running game like they have. All right, so they're 4-0 in the last 4 starts. So Bryce Young, 4-0, man. Looking very impressive. Seems like he improves week after week. And let's see what he can actually put together against the New Orleans Saints, who are in their white helmet here today. Last time we seen them in a white helmet, they got absolutely beat to sleep by the Seattle Seahawks. But let's see, wide open Teteroy McMillan right there. But the Saints are right there to wrap them up really quickly. So about another 4 or 5 yards on the play. All right, so the New Orleans Saints defense out there, hoping that they can actually get off the field when the opportunity presents itself. But you look at the offensive line of the Carolina Panthers have been nicked up, man. A lot of guys are rotating, but they still managed to find ways to run the football. All right, so Bryce Young on a second and 3, excuse me. So Teteroy McMillan got 7 yards on the play. We see Xavier Legette in motion. Here's the handoff to Rico, and Rico fights forward, and he gets the first down. So the first down of the game for the Carolina Panthers, able to run the football effectively there. Chase Young, Devon Garshaw, Brian Brzee, and Cam Jordan are your starters up front. Then, of course, you got P. Warner and Demario Davis. And then, of course, in the secondary, you got Kool-Aid McKinstry, Yarnis Sinker, Justin Reed, Alante Taylor, and Quincy Riley out there as well. So here we go. 1st and 10 for the Carolina Panthers, picking up a first down. And here's a play action. And Bryce Young throws it over the head of Chase Young, who was right there in the backfield. So Bryce Young is able to get the ball over the head, but sound tackle right there, right away by Pete Warner. All right, so that's going to be a loss of 1. So if they're going to win this football game, they're going to make this thing competitive. They're going to have to get pressure on Bryce Young, and they're going to have to stop the run. I mean, you can't allow Rico Dowdle to go absolutely haywire on you. All right, but this can be a big game for Chase Young, as the offensive line of the Carolina Panthers has been struggling, man. A lot of injuries there. All right, so here we go. Here's the handoff to Rico Dowdle, tries to get up the middle, and he is tackled. That is by Brian Brzee. He's able to get his hands on him, so that's going to bring up a 3rd down. All right, so the New Orleans Saints, as of right now, understanding the assignment so far, that you got to be able to neutralize. You got to neutralize Rico Dowdle. All right, so do we look at Dave Canales in his 2nd season? Seemed like he's finding his stride as a head coach, and the chemistry between him and Bryce Young seemed like it's getting better. All right, so 3rd and 8 for the Saints. 3rd down conversion been an issue, and I don't know exactly what that is. I don't know if it's offsides on the Saints or it was a false start. Not sure what that is all about. We'll see from the referees. So we got offsides on the defense. So had an opportunity and you end up jumping. So now it's going to be 3rd and 3. Brian Brzee jumps offsides. So once again, penalties, rears ugly head. Saints were able to get off the field on 3rd down from the looks of it. But Brian Brzee jumps offside. So 3rd and 3 for the Carolina Panthers. Rico Dowdle in the backfield alongside Bryce Young. He's in the gun. And the Saints look like they're showing pressure, and they hand the ball off, and they give it off to Bryce Young, and he keeps it himself and gets enough for the 1st down. And a little exchange between former Alabama teammates Kool-Aid McKinstry and Bryce Young. Both played at Alabama together at the same time. So really good, smart play design right there. Everybody thought Rico Dowdle was going to get it. And that's something that the Carolina Panthers can utilize in this game. You know, Bryce Young's ability to be able to utilize that RPO game if everybody's paying attention to Rico. All right, so 1st and 10 for the Carolina Panthers. And here's the snap, handoff. Give it off to him again. And the New Orleans Saints are able to stop him. So right now, you know, that's good that the New Orleans Saints are neutralizing Rico Dowdle on this drive right now. That's going to help you in the long run. Now, you have to be able to stop this guy. I mean, I would take losing to Bryce Young beating you with his arm. Like, that's okay. But what this team does really well right now is run the football. All right, so 2nd and 10 for the Carolina Panthers. And Rico Dowdle in the backfield alongside Bryce Young. He looks, has time, throws the ball, and that pass is completed. And that's to Teteroy McMillan, who was on Quincy Riley. So that's a 1st down. So Teteroy McMillan, who was dealing with a hamstring injury late on in the week, was questionable in this game, but able to get 2 receptions right now. All right, so really good pass right there. Timing route on our route. I mean, the ball was already out by the time that Teteroy McMillan ended up got out of his cut. So that was really good pass and catch right there. All right, so Teteroy McMillan having a really good season, rookie campaign. Here's the play action. Bryce Young looking plenty of time, can hit a sweater in the pocket, and he throws it at the ground, and they're going to say is it incomplete? All right, don't look like it looked like it was incomplete. All right, so 2nd and 9, they're going to say it was complete. Give him 1 yard on the play. So right here, 8-play, 36-yard drive, plenty of time. And this is something else. Like, once again, the New Orleans Saints cannot get off the field. Too much time, 3 and outs, long methodical drives by teams because the defense can't get off the field. Bryce Young, 4 for 18 yards right now, making some really good decisions so far. And here we go. Bryce Young looking, throws, tipped up in the air. And, I mean, you got about 3-4 guys in the vicinity. And, I mean, you could have had a pick right there. So, I don't know, man. Come on. Heads up, you probably would have had yourself an interception. All right, so, but really good tip pass right there. You can't argue with that. And you're looking. And that's what you're supposed to do. Put that ball, your hands up in the air. Jonathan Bullock puts his hand up. Guys are looking up at the air, in the air. Could have possibly been an interception. All right, so 3rd and 9 for the Saints. Look like they're showing some pressure. Are they going to send pressure is the question. No, they're not. Well, they are going to send pressure. Quick pass, and it's intercepted. Intercepted by Demario Davis, stiff arms, and the New Orleans Saints. But there's a flag on the play. There is a flag on the play. So they're saying roughing the passer. So it negates an interception. Unbelievable. Unfreaking believable. I tell you what, man. Let's see. Yeah. You can't grab his face mask, man. I mean, yeah. I can't even argue with that. Just bad decision by Justin Reed. Which more than likely, he probably wouldn't have completed the pass anyway if you would have just put your hands up in the air. I mean, look, you can say it's not roughing, but, anytime you go towards the head or the neck area in any way, they're going to call that, man. They're going to call it. Like, you can't hit a quarterback in his head or graze his helmet or anything. Rico Dowdle running up the middle. So a couple flags end up helping the Carolina Panthers on this drive. You had a 3rd and 8. They end up calling a penalty on the Saints. And then, it was an offside penalty on Brian Brzee. And then you had an interception by Demario Davis, and they called roughing on that. So Carolina being helped out by the refs early in this game. And this is a long 11-play drive. Like I said, taking about 6 minutes on the clock. The offense hasn't even seen the field yet. Here we go. Here's the pass. Looking. Here you go. Check down. Rico Dowdle. Wide the freak open. Nothing but space and opportunity. Gets the first down and gets down to about the 5-yard line. I mean, man, can you, I've never seen a team. Well, I won't say that. I've seen teams, but this team cannot get out of his own way. It's like unbelievable the way that this team just cannot get out of his own way. It can't get out of his own way. 1st and goal for the Carolina Panthers. 1st and goal. I mean, Bryce Young under center. You got Rico Dowdle in the backfield. I mean, this is the 12th play of the drive. Here's the handoff to Rico. Goes up the middle into the end zone for the touchdown. So big Reek into the end zone for the touchdown. And just like that, the Carolina Panthers are on the board. I mean, man, missed opportunities. You had an interception. Could have got the ball back to your offense. Instead, you end up giving up a touchdown. I mean, in true New Orleans Saints form this season. I mean, my goodness, man. How undisciplined can you get? And like I said, at the end of the day, I mean, it's something as simple as a graze face mask. Now you got the Carolina Panthers up 7-0. So let's see what the Saints offense are going to be able to do, man. I'll stay for the offensive drive for the Saints, and then I'll go ahead and check out. Man, this is man. I mean, you got off the field. You had an interception. You had an incomplete pass to bring up 4th down. Brian Brzee jumps offside. I mean, just missed opportunities, man. This team just continuously shoots itself in the foot, man. Love when the Pigeons Falcon. Watching the Saints game is depressing. I think I read quite a few of those. I strolled down a little bit. Panthers are moving down the field effectively so far already. I mean, look, that was like a 13-play drive? 13 plays, man. But like I said, you had opportunity to get off the field on 3rd down. It was an incomplete pass. Brian Brzee jumps off sides. You had a turnover. Demario Davis picks the ball off. All right, even with that, a tip pass in the air, you got 2 guys in the area. None of them can come up with the interception. Then the next play, Demario Davis picked the ball off, roughing the passer. Like, bruh, get out your own way. What's going on? Our team defense ain't holding on them for running the end zone like that. Justin Reed is trash. Wasn't even nothing impressive about the Panthers offense. The Saints played the most vanilla defense I've ever seen. I haven't been getting any of your notifications, TJ. I don't know why, man. Said it unsubscribed me. I don't know why that happened. I don't know why that happened, man. I'm sorry to hear that. I mean, you make sure that that bell is on for the notification so when I do go live, you all can get it. But in the meantime, please hit the like button if you enjoy the State of the Saints podcast. I mean, I don't know, man. Typical Saints style of play this year. I'm just tired of this, man. Like, seriously, I can understand, like, not being good. You know, you just don't have the talent. But, man, watching this New Orleans Saints team just continue to, like, get in their own way like this, like, you could have been off the field a couple times, at least 3 times on that drive, at least 3. But that's what happened when you're a bad football team. That's what happens, once again, when you're a bad football team. Nothing goes your way. We need to remix Johnny Taylor Too Many Memories, but use penalties. Man. Anyway, man, game is back. I'll stay for the Saints' first offensive drive. Hopefully it don't be as quick. Maybe they can actually convert on some third downs or something. I don't know. I mean, man, Coco was throwing some blocks, man. And I hope he all right, man. But he was out there, man, throwing some really good blocks. Now he got to like first, second, and third level. But that's what you call helping out your running back, man. Taking advantage of that, and let's see what the New Orleans Saints do on this offensive drive. 12 plays, 67 yards, took off 7 minutes and 1 second off the clock. So last week is repeating itself this week. Long drives, taking time off the clock, can't get off the field, driving down the field like it ain't nothing. All right, so here we go. Here's the kick. All right, so that was Dante Pettis out here. And now comes Tyler Shough. All right, so let's see if Tyler Shough can go out here and provide a spark for the offense. Second week as a starter. 15 to 24, 176 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 pick last week. This week he's looking to have a better start. All right, so here we go. New look offensive line. Of course, we know Talase Fuaga is out. Awesome Richards is in. And then you traded Trevor Penning, so you have Dylan Radins is in. Chris Olave in motion. Here's the handoff to Alvin Kamara getting up the field, getting about 3 or 4 yards on the play. And, man, that is definitely needed. But the best thing about it, we see Devon Vele actually in the game right now. All right, so once again, you got Calvin Banks. They got Devon Vele in the game. Brandon Cooks, Juwan Johnson. So let's see if we can actually get some of these guys that are going to be wide receiver by committee involved in this game. All right, so 2nd and 4 for the Saints. Tyler Shough in a gun, looking, trying to find time, tripped up and sacked. And let me guess, who got whipped on the play? Can we go back and take a look at it? I mean, just unbelievable. Swiss cheese type, offensive line, man. Swiss cheese. Crowd is involved in. You got a 7-0 lead going right now. And now you go 3rd and 12 for the New Orleans Saints. Brandon Cooks in motion. All right, so here's the snap, throws, looks, and breaks off, runs, scrambling for his life, throws the ball downfield, wide open to Juwan Johnson. Juwan Johnson running, breaks the tackle, gets down to the 30-yard line. So Tyler Shough showing some happy feet, some nimbleness in the pocket. Able to step up, break a tackle, step up, still keeping his eyes down the field, finds a wide open Juwan Johnson. Hands the ball off to Devin Neal. Neal running. Really good play right there. That's enough for the first down. So Devin Neal. All right, Tyler Shough showing some nimbleness, man. And Juwan Johnson able to get a big play. All right, so here we go. 1st and 10. Brandon Cooks in motion. Shough hands the ball off. No, play action. And that pass is almost dropped by Juwan Johnson, and it goes out of bounds. And so Juwan Johnson catches the wide open pass. Nearly dropped that one, but was able to get about 4 or 5 yards on the play. So Tyler Shough, man, showing some aggression, showing some really good nimbleness in the pocket. All right, so here we go, man. 2nd and 6 for the Saints, as we see Taysom Hill in motion and Tyler Shough looking, checks, throws, pass, caught, Morrow down to the 2-yard line. So Tyler Shough showing some capability today. So here we go. Johnson in motion, hands the ball off to AK, tries to go, and still fighting. Gets nothing on the play. 2nd and goal for the Saints. Put Devin Neal in. Let him run. All right, so we bring it in. Most likely, what is this going to be? And is it going to be pretty obvious? Is it going to be QB power or something about Taysom Hill? Are we going to do some Taysom Hill QB power here? And of course, in true predictable fashion, here we go with Taysom Hill in the red zone, and QB power goes up the middle, and nobody's buying it. Everybody know what he about to do. 3rd down, 3rd and goal. Man, I promise you, man, Taysom Hill can throw the ball. It is the greatest advantage ever because everybody believes that Taysom Hill about to run up the middle. Just throw it. Like, why can't you just open up an opportunity for him to throw a ball to a tight end or wide receiver? He's a quarterback. Tyler Shough on a 3rd and goal in the gun. Here's the snap. Looking, plenty of time. Rolls some more, and incomplete. A little bit behind Chris Olave. So that's going to bring up a 4th and goal. Are the New Orleans Saints going to go for it? Of course not. Of course, absolutely not. I mean, you're a 1-8 team. Why not go? I mean, I don't know. Who cares at the end of the day? Like, who freaking cares? Go for it on 4th down. But of course, these are the New Orleans Saints that you're talking about, the passive Saints, and they're going to go ahead and kick a field goal. And before anybody say, man, it's a smart idea, bro, your team at 1-8. What do you have to lose at this point? 20-yard attempt, snap, placement, kick on the way, good. The New Orleans Saints get 3 points on the board. I mean, outside of that big play by Tyler Shough and a really good run by Devin Neal, I mean, come on, bro. Taysom Hill is a freaking quarterback. He's a freaking quarterback. He is a freaking quarterback. Like, throw the ball with him. Like, I don't understand. Like, everybody in the stands know he about to just go under center and try to run up the middle. Like, come on, man. Like, this dude can throw the football. He can throw the football. Like, that is such an advantage. The fact that you actually can set up a play and design a play for him to throw the football. But keep on running them up the middle with that QB power, man, on that quarterback sneak. Everybody know. Shoot, that boy just straight up bunched up the middle. That's all they did, man. Shough looked good. Red zone play calling his ass. Same result every first drive. I don't care what no one says. Something fishy going on with this team. You can't tell me they cannot score in the red zone. Man, you thinking about self-sabotage? How you do that there, TJ? Rest in peace to Young Bleed. Yeah, rest in peace, man. Rattler looked good too, but the same old red zone issues. Are we allergic to the end zone? It looks like that, man. Please don't run Taysom Hill. It's not fool. Like, I don't understand it, bro. Like, the last 3 games, you've been in the red zone trying to do the same play. Like, Taysom Hill is a quarterback. He can throw the football. Shough last pass was 5 yards away from everyone. Where was he throwing? I believe what happened was he thought that Chris Olave was going to run inside. He ended up throwing, and he ended up going. I'm talking Chris Olave going outside. So that's what that was. That's what that was. That was just a miscommunication. You can tell, like, the way when Chris Olave looked, he was like, I had him. That was a good drive by Shough, showing the size and athleticism he needs to not make that a one-hit driver and do it all game. Well, that's what he's going to have to do. All right, man, shoot, this offensive line is not very good. He's going to have to be running for his life, and he's going to have to show some nimbleness. But, hey, man, I mean, that's the type of play that'll build up your confidence. And I got to say, man, I mean, Tyler Shough, he does look a little bit more confident, in this game than I seen last week. But that just comes, I guess, with, being a little bit more comfortable. And then, like, man, once you play that first game and that nervousness kind of goes away, that second game, it's like, man, you be chomping at the bit to get back out there. All right, so they're 4-1 over their last 5 games, man. So we look at the Carolina Panthers trending in the right direction. And now Bryce Young in the offense comes back on the field. I bet on the Panthers, and if we gonna stink, at least I can make money off of it. All right, so 1st and 10 for the Carolina Panthers. Bryce Young under center. Hand the ball off. Rico up the middle. Stays on his feet. Fights, gets the first down. So Rico Dowdle starting to heat up. Rico Dowdle just heating up, man. Hands the ball off, goes right up the middle. Missed tackle right there by Pete Warner in the gap. All right, so here we go. Here's another handoff to Rico. This time he gets tripped up. And this time Pete Warner makes the play. All right, so misses the tackle on the first run, makes it on the second run. Man, so Rico Dowdle, man, went to the University of South Carolina. Dallas Cowboys were pretty good for them. All right, so here we go. 2nd and 9 for the Carolina Panthers. And this has been a quick first quarter because the Panthers controlled the ball most of the game. All right, so here we go. Here's another handoff. This is the Uncle Rico, and he goes up the middle and gets a few yards on the play. So right now they're trying to feed the hungry and giving it to Rico Dowdle. He checks out. So it's not like when he check out like something, something less than is coming in, because now you got Chuba Hubbard coming in the game. He just as good. I mean, he just as good as Rico Dowdle is. But anyway, here we go. A 3rd and 6 for the Carolina Panthers. See what the New Orleans Saints do here. Here's the rush. Quick pass. Tipped at the line of scrimmage. Incomplete. That's going to bring up 4th down. So the New Orleans Saints, believe it or not, able to get off the field on a 3rd down. I mean, they said every time the Saints get off the field on 3rd down, an angel gets his wings. So not many angels are flying around heaven right now. Anyway, 4th and 6 for the for the Carolina Panthers. And as we know, Rashid Shaheed no longer with the team. So Dante Pettis is back to receive the punt. Pettis gets the heck out of the way, and the ball, whoa, what a punt. Bounces right to around the 2. So really good punt right there, flipping the field. So that was a really good punt. Not going to lie about that. So it's going to set the Saints up at about the 2-yard line. DeMario was just sitting there waiting. And that's one thing the New Orleans Saints can have an advantage when it comes to Bryce Young, getting those hands up in there, batting down those passes. Good job making Bryce look small. Well, he is a small quarterback, so he's a small quarterback, so there's that. Yeah, I don't know, man. I mean, look, they was able to get a stop. That's good to see. Good to know that the New Orleans Saints can actually get off the field. I mean, they had opportunity to get off the field the first time. They just couldn't. All right, so you take a look at, like I said, look at Rico Dowdle out there making plays, running the football, got his first touchdown of the game. TJ, you think they bring Staley back? Of course they're going to bring Brandon Staley back. These are the Saints we talking about here. I mean, what do you think they demand? Excellence around this thing, son? Not right now, at least, man. We look, as long as the New Orleans Saints aren't looking at this season as a, like they're not looking at this coaching staff. They're like, okay, man, just get through the season. Now I think next year they'll probably start like evaluating these guys. But it's kind of hard for me to know exactly what these coaches actually are when you ain't got the talent. Like they don't have that, man. This team lacks talent. Like they got talent on the team, but they don't, like, you know what I'm talking about. You got other teams that it just seems like you got NFL caliber players, and when it comes to the depth chart, your depth chart is pretty formidable. You get what I'm saying? With the Saints, I mean, man, it's like, man, you can't make a souffle if you don't have the right ingredients, man. Like they don't have a dominant pass rush. They don't have any dominance, like, on any level. Like, what level do the New Orleans Saints have dominance? Like, just think about that. Like, man, you can't make like miracles here, man. They just don't have the talent. So, like, you expect for this guy to go out here and make these guys look like they're the second coming of the 85 Bears when you don't have the talent? So I don't know, man. It's kind of hard for me to just sit up here and just, blame a guy that inherited a team that don't have that much talent defensively. But I mean, I don't think this zone defense is suitable for a lot of these guys. All right, so 1st and 10. Here's the snap. Looking, quick throw over the head of Chris Olave, incomplete. Mike Jack on the coverage. So miscommunication right there between Tyler Shough and Chris Olave. So if you're the New Orleans Saints, man, you're just trying to get out the end zone. But the fact that you can't even really run the ball that well, you even have to second guess, like, handing the ball off to Alvin. But I'm pretty sure this probably what's going to happen here. 2nd and 10 for the New Orleans Saints. Tyler Shough under center. And here's the handoff. This is the Alvin Kamara. Big hole right there. Goes up the middle. This is probably some of the best running Alvin has done in probably weeks. Probably all season. The fact that the New Orleans Saints actually getting 7 and 8 yards a clip. I mean, it's pretty shocking to me. All right, so 3rd and 3 for the Saints. Now, I'm just saying, man, okay, so you got Devin Neal. Devin Neal just had like a 10 or 11-yard run, and we ain't see him run the ball no more. Like, anyway, 3rd and 3 for the Saints. Here's the snap, pressure, all up in his boy's face, and Devin Neal was in the vicinity. So that's going to bring up a 4th down. So, I mean, this man came, they're saying that it's a safety. I don't think that it is because you had Devin Neal in the area. So All right, ladies and gentlemen, we'll be back. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll be back at the end of the game. I encourage you all to check out the Bleacher Report immediately following this Saints Carolina Panthers game, and also the State of Saints podcast post-game show that will happen after that. All right, so come on back. Really do appreciate you all's time. Enjoy the rest of the game. Try not to pull your hair out. Try not to stress yourself out too much. And until next time, all I got to say is,